The Calgary Police Service is once again asking anyone who commutes to work along Centre Street North to think back to the morning rush hour 2 months ago and try to remember if they saw anything suspicious. At approximately 9 a.m. on Wednesday, September 30th, 2015, police were called to a home just north of the busy intersection at the Centre Street and 40th Avenue North, after someone walking in the area witnessed a man being attacked. The man was found outside of a residence with multiple stab wounds and was taken to hospital, where he died as a result of his injuries a short time later. The man was later identified as Frank Burton, 56, of Calgary. Burton had a history of mental illness that had caused confrontations with people in the past. We believe it is possible that this illness contributed to the attack. We are now releasing more details of where exactly the crime took place in an effort to obtain more information from the public. The crime occurred at the side entrance of a pink and white house located in the 4200 block of Centre Street North. Photos of the location and a 360-degree view of Centre Street, where commuters likely would have been able to see the crime, are now available on the City of Calgary newsroom. We believe the attack would have been visible from the street, and traffic was likely quite busy due to the morning rush hour. We are also still looking for a suspect seen by a witness. He is described as a darker-skinned man with a stocky build, who is approximately 5 foot 10 inches tall. At the time of the attack, he was wearing a gray hoodie. Anyone that witnessed anything suspicious in the area of the morning of the attack who has not already spoken to police is asked to call the Calgary Police Service. I would now like to introduce Eric and Karen Burton, who are the brother and sister-in-law of Frank Burton, to speak about their brother.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric. This is my wife, Karen. And for me today, I'd like to first of all thank the Calgary Police Department for allowing me to come forward today, along with my wife, to give a little bit of information on my brother. My brother Frank, who was the oldest of 4 in our family. I have an older brother and a younger sister. Frank, who when I was growing up was a very athletic, fun-loving young man. I've always said that when I was growing up I was always jealous of my brother, mainly for the simple fact that it seemed like when Frank wanted something, Frank always got what he wanted. Frank got the little pony, Frank got the skidoo, Frank got this. And I always thought to my mom and dad, how come Frank always gets, and you know, we seem to not get some of the things that Frank seemed to get. But like I said, Frank was an incredibly great hockey player, athletic. I grew up, and we all grew up on a family farm back in Newfoundland. Anything Frank touched turned to gold. He was, whether it be mechanically, automotive, he would turn whatever was wrong into something that he could fix. He was one of those guys that created friends in an instant. And for me, personally, here today, I just want it known that he did have a brother, he did have a family, and if there's anyone out there that knows anything about this crime, it would be greatly appreciated if they would come forward to the Calgary Police Service. And because I know back home in Newfoundland, My sister and my other brother, along with myself, my wife, and our family in Camrose, where me and Karen live, is something that I would love to see some closure to this, because this is something that is hard to deal with every day, knowing that there is someone out there that did this crime. So as I said before, if there's someone out there that knows something, I would certainly appreciate it if you would come forward. Thank you.
I can now answer any of your questions.
So since Doug, when we last had our last presser about this in the last few weeks and basically months, I mean, can you elaborate on any progress in terms of tips or even?
I can tell you what
footage?
we've done as far as the investigation. Of course, we've canvassed the neighborhood for witnesses with anybody with information. We've done a search of the area for a weapon. We have not recovered a weapon. Our investigators have spoken to 7 of the 8 residents that were living at that residence at the time. The 8th one we're trying to track down, and we've been unable to do so since then. And our investigators went out on the same day of the week at 9 a.m. and they canvassed commuters at the bus stops along Center Street to see if they had witnessed anything in their commute, their daily commute. So we've done a number of things to try and obtain information that would assist us with furthering this investigation. And so far we've obtained some information, but there may be someone who has some information that saw something or heard something, and we're encouraging anyone who did to give the Calgary Police Service a call. And that's why we're taking this opportunity to raise the profile of the investigation, to encourage anyone who may have information to contact us. We believe that there's somebody out there who could provide us with information that may allow us to identify the individual responsible and hold them accountable. And that's our goal.
Does the 8th resident of the house match the description of the...
No, he does not. He does not.
You touched on, I couldn't remember the exact words you used, but something about that sometimes he, the white people, but there was something.
So what he was prone to loud outbursts and offensive comments, and they could be misconstrued if heard by someone, causing them to act on that perception. So we're keeping an open mind as to motive, but that's just one of the possibilities, and we just want to make sure that maybe somebody experienced one of those offensive outbursts or loud comments and may have some information about somebody else who reacted to it.
So where was Mr. Burton found after he was attacked?
He was right outside of his house. So there was just outside the side door, so there was a woman and her child walking past. They witnessed the attack. They made sure that they went to someplace safe. They went to the Tim Hortons at 40th and Center and contacted the police.
So was that on the north side or the south side of the...
I believe it's on, tell you through, I'm not sure, we'd have to check the photo that's been released. I think it's on the south side, but we'd have to confirm that.